So I snatched my waist from 26 inches to 22 inches. Yeah, it is possible. Hello fashion lovers, you're welcome back to my channel. Trust you're good, trust you're doing well. So today we are going to be learning how to snatch or cinch our waist. Yeah, it's possible to do that. It is going to be a very detailed and informative video. We're going to be learning the simplest method by which we can snatch or cinch our waist. So if it is something you want to learn, keep watching this video. If you are new here, you're highly welcome. Thank you for being here. Kindly go ahead and subscribe. And if you have done that already, thank you for subscribing. And to all my old subscribers, thank you guys for subscribing. Let's get started. So for us to get started, as you can see, I have my pattern here. So this part is my back and this part is my front. So I'll go ahead and level. So here is the chest line. Here is the bust point. Here is the under bust. Here is the waistline. And here is the length of my top. So for the back, here is the back waistline. If you watch my video constantly, you will know that I've always talked about the difference between your front waistline and the back waistline. So in my own case, the difference between my front and back waistline is 1.5 inches. My front waistline is 15 inches, my back waistline is 13.5. So here is my back waistline, here is my front waistline. So I'll just write waistline, and here is the length. So the difference between the front and back waistline is 1.5 inches. I believe you can see it is 1.5 inches. So this is what I have. So I'll go ahead to eliminate this part by half an inch. I'll just go ahead and eliminate take the center back part to eliminate the back zipper bulging effect. So as you can see, I've done that. So the next thing I'm going to do is to work on the front. So whatever thing I have here, that is my first circumference. Whatever thing I have there, I will bring it to the front, the waistline. Because I want to do contouring, so I will bring it to the waistline. So for this pattern, I'm going to be using the bust dart pattern. So you can use any pattern you want. You can use the normal basic bodice block. You can use the basic bodice block with the shoulder dart. Depending on the one you're working with is fine. So I just wrote this down because I want to have a straight line here. So I'll just go ahead and connect like this. Just follow what I'm doing, you understand it. So this point here, I'm going to get the upper hip circumference. My upper hip circumference, where the top is going to sit, is 34 inches. Divided by 4 will give me 8.5, which is also the same thing as the bust. So I'll just mark. This is not my hip circumference, this is my upper hip circumference. And then I'll go ahead and connect like this. So this is what I have for the front. And for the back, whatever thing I have here, like this, I'll also bring it to the waistline. So this is what we have so far. So the next thing we're going to do is to start taking our darts. So on this waistline, you know we connected the chest line to the waistline. We connected the chest circumference to the waistline. So here I'm going to take my 1/4 of my chest my waist circumference, which is 26 divided by 4 will give me 6.5, right? So I will mark 6.5 here. So whatever thing I have here, I have 2 inches left. So that 2 inches left that I have is what I will use to take my dart. So by the time you measure your 1/4 of your own waist circumference, whatever thing is left is what you will use to take your dart. So it can vary depending on your size. So I have 2 inches as the excess here. So that is what I'll be using to take my dart. So but because I'm going to be taking 2 darts on the waist, I'm going to be taking 2 darts on the front waist. So I'm going to be shifting my dart. I'm going to be like redirecting my dart to another, like taking it, not using the normal nipple to nipple measurement we all know. So I'm going to be redirecting my dart. So I will also have space to fit the second dart. Hope you understood what I'm saying. So for me to do that, I'll come to the bust point and mark half of my nipple measurement, which is 7 inches divided by 2. I'll have it as 3.5 here. Did you see that? I will come here and I will mark 2 inches. I'll mark 2 inches because I want to redirect my dart. So I'm marking 2 inches here and I will connect like this. Did you see what I'm doing? So this is going to help me. Did you see that? So this is going to help me to, this is going to help to accommodate another dart. So you can see I'm having other space in between. So that's the essence of it. So the next thing you will do is to mark your 2 inches dart intake here. The excess we have here, I have 2 inches. So towards this side, I will mark 0.75. Towards this side, I will mark 1.25, making it 2 inches. So you keep your tape like this, and then you mark 0.75 here, and you mark 2 inches here. Did you see? This is very simple. And from the bust point, I'll come down by 1/2 inch because my bust is around 34. If you're on the average or plus size, you can come down by 0.75 or 1 inch just to create room here for your bust. So I'll go ahead and connect. So I've taken my dart. This is not the waist snatching now. This is just the normal dart that we have here, which is 2 inches. I have taken it. I just took it in a slanted form just to create room here for another dart. So the next thing is to contour the underbust. And to contour the underbust, you are going to divide your underbust circumference by 4 inches. That is 1/4 of your underbust. And you come to your underbust. You measure from this point to this point, and from this point to this point. So my underbust circumference is 28 inches divided by 4 will give me 7 inches. So from here, I will measure from here to this point. Did you see? And then take it to this point now. Yeah, let's start. Did you see? So just check it again from this point to this point, and then take it from there to here. So this is where my 7 inches is. So what I have here is about 0.75 inch. So that is what I'll be using to contour my underbust. So I'm going to be dividing it into 2. The 0.75 inch, you are going to divide it into 2 like this, and then you mark it here, and then you also mark it here. So what the excess you have here, you're going to share it on both sides of the dart. After taking that, you will go ahead to contour. So you go ahead to contour your underbust like this. Did you see what I'm doing? You're contouring the underbust now. This is very simple. And then we take it to this point. Did you see that? Then you also take this one to this point. So did you see? So we've gone ahead to contour the underbust. Did you see? We've contoured everything. So we now have the exact underbust line here. Did you see? We have the exact waist circumference. We have the exact underbust. So we've contoured everything. So for the back, what I have here is 8 inches. Did you see that? So I will measure my waist circumference, 1/4 of my waist circumference, which is here, and whatever excess I have, which is 1.5, I will use it for my dart. So I will just come here and mark 1/4 of half of my nipple point. I will also mark it here and mark it here. So on this point, I'm going to divide the 1.5 inches into 2. sorry, 1.5 inches. I will divide it into 2. I'll just go ahead and draw a straight line like this. So did you see what I have? This is just my normal dart. So by the time I measure from here to this point, I will have my exact waist circumference. So I've taken the back dart, I've taken the front dart. So for the waist snatching, I want to snatch my waist by I want to reduce 4 inches from my waist. So I'm going to divide that 4 inches by 4. You know the way we divide our bust circumference by 4, we divide our waist by 4, and we divide our hip by 4. I'm going to go ahead and divide the 4 inches I'm going to reduce from my waist by 4. If I'm reducing like 5 inches, so I'm reducing like 6 inches, I am going to divide that 6 inches by 4. So whatever thing you want to reduce from your waist, maybe 3 inches, 7 inches, you are going to divide it by 4. So 4 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 1 inch. That 1 inch is what I will use for the front and the back. So 1 inch, 4 divided by 4 is 1 inch. If you are using 6, it should be around 1.5. So that is what I will use. So I will come to the front like this. Okay, before that, I'm going to mark my bust dart of 1.5. So I'll come down here and mark 1.5, and then I'll go ahead and connect. You see that? So I've taken my bust dart. So this part will be closed up. The 4 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 1, right? So I'll come here, I will shift my dart by about 2 inches. 2 inches, did you see? On the waistline now. So that is why I redirect my dart towards that side. So I will shift my dart from here. The next dart, I will mark 2 inches here. Did you see? That 1 inch, the 1 inch for the waist snatch, I am going to take it as that. So on these 2 inches here, I will mark ½ inch on both sides, which is here. So I'm marking ½ inch on both sides. So depending on what you are using, if you are using 6.6 inches, you divide by 4, you have 1.5. So that 1.5, you will come to the front and take it as that. So I'll go ahead to connect. I'm actually supposed to close this bust dart before doing this, but by the time I'm cutting it out, I will close it and redraw the line. So depending on how you want it, you can want it straight, you can as well make it to go this point. So you can just come here and mark like 2 inches or 2.5 and just take it like this. You can just redirect it like this as well. Let's just redirect it in that diagonal form or in that slanted form. So it all depends on the look you want to achieve. So for this middle dart, I'm just going to go ahead and take it up to this point. So if you're connecting this dart, please, you just stop it on the waist, on the under bust, because the waist snatch we are having, the effect on the waist snatch is on the waistline. So don't take your dart up here. So you just stop it on the under bust. Don't take it above the under bust, because if you take this dart above the under bust, it's going to shorten your under bust. Your under bust will be too tight and it might press your bust. So we are stopping that here. So please take note of that. We stop it here and we stop it. Did you see what I'm doing? So this is the place we are stopping the dart. Did you see? We are stopping the dart on the under bust. If you take it to stop it somewhere here, it will add to your under bust. It will reduce your under bust and it will not be fine for you. So the waist snatching effect is only on the waistline. So it's only on the waistline you are going to concentrate, and don't take this above the under bust, so your bust will not be shortened and it will press your bust. So this is what we have. So for the back now, we are going to also be shifting our dart by 2 inches like this. So did you see? So the remaining 1 inch for the back, I will go ahead and mark ½ inch here half inch here. Did you see? And then I will take it, I will stop it at the bust. I'll stop it at the chest line. So I'm going to take my dart like this. So this is very simple. So did you see what I did? So now, so I've taken that 1 inch here, I've taken the 1 inch here. So by the time this is going to be cut in two. So by the time you open it up, you have taken 2 inches here and you have taken 2 inches here. So that is just the thing. So this is what we have so far. So the next thing I would advise you to do is to check if you got the right thing. So we want to snatch our waist to 22 inches. So after taking all these things, I will advise you to divide 22 inches by 4. So 22 inches divided by 4 will give me 5.5. That is 1/4 of it will give me 5.5. I will come to the back waistline and check if I have 5.5. So I'll come from this point now. You mark from here to here. Did you see what I'm doing? From here to here, from here to here, right? And then take it to this part and mark to that leg and take it to the other that leg. Did you see? I have it as 5.5. That means I've successfully snatched my waist to 22 inches. I will also check the front like this. From there, you start it to this side, and from there, you start to this side. As you can see, I also have it as, let me see, I think there's a mistake here. Okay, let's see, from here to here, right, from here to here. Okay, it's correct. I have it as 5.5. So that's just the trick to it. So for the back, we need to have a back opening here, right? So you can decide to, I'll come here and take 1 inch for my back opening. Now my back opening, this is not the tightening now, this is just your normal back opening. I'll take 1 inch here, 1 inch here, and I'll take 1.5 here. So it depends on what you want, how open you want it to be. Do you see that? How open you want it to be. Please, this is not the waist snatchy. So this is what we have so far. So all these parts will be cut out. So the next thing is to, let me connect my curve. How do you want this part to be? So you can just connect. I want it to, I'll just come down here by 3.5. That is how I want it to be, 3.5, right? And then I'll connect. I can just use my pen. I just use a pen to, get the curve I want here. So depending on how you want yours to be, you can just do that. So that is what I did here, trying to use my pen to get a curve for my dress. So this is how I want it to be. So you can make your curve the same way or any way you want it. So for the front waistline, I came down by 3.5. For the back waistline, I will also come down by 3.5, and then I will connect it. So you can decide to also come up here by maybe 2 inches. Maybe you don't want to get to that point, you can just come up by 2 inches like this, and then you curve like this. So this is just optional. This is what you want to achieve. So you achieve what you want. So this is what I have. So for the back now, the back is ready, but for the front, it's not ready. So I'm going to get the midpoint of the shoulder here. And then I'll take it to the bust point. And from here, I'll come down by whatever thing you want. How you want your, how you want your cleavage to show. So you can just, measure what you want. Okay, I'll come down by 6.5. You see, I'll come down by 6.5 inches here. From here to here is 6.5, depending on how you want the overbrush to be. I'm going to contour the overbrush by 1.5. If you're a slim person or an average person, contour your overbust by 1.5. That is 0.75 inch on both sides. But if you're on a plus size, you can use 1 inch. That is 2 inches, 1 inch here and 1 inch here. So I'll go ahead and contour by 0.75 on both sides, which is here. Did you see? Did you see? And then I will take it. I'll stop half inch above my bust point, just to create room for my bust to fit in. So if you're on a plus size, you can stop 1 inch above. This is going to help you to create space for your bust. So that's just the essence of it. Did you see that? So when you are done, you will go ahead, connect your neckline depending on how you want it to be. Okay, I will stop mine on my chest line or on the bust line depending. So I think I'll stop on the bust line like this. So did you see what I have here? And then I will go ahead to connect this point. Let me use my pen to get what I want for here, for this part first. So you can see now this is what I have. Did you see that I've connected my overbust? So and for here I also, so here is going to, here is on the armhole. Here is also going to start on the armhole. So I'll go ahead and give my my neckline depending on the neckline you want to have. So you can just give any neckline that you want, and it must start also from your armhole. So for the inches that I took here, I am not adding it here. Please take note, because this is going to be a strapless or a tube. Do you understand? It's a tube or a strapless dress bustier. So you don't take this. What we did here is that we did a contouring or a gaping dart. And for a gaping dart, you don't add your gaping dart back. Please take note of that. When you are dealing with a gaping dart, you don't add this back, you don't add it back. So with the reason of taking this dart is so that this upper part will not be gaping. So we contoured it so it will not be gaping. So it's a gaping dart, we don't add it back. So don't bother. You have a lot of fullness here. Do you understand? You have a lot of fullness here. So taking this dart will not affect anything. So if you're on an average or on a small size, you use 1.5. If you're on a plus size, you use 2 inches. You don't need to add it back, because if you add it back, you will just have excess. So just take note of that. It does not have armhole, right? So it's not going to shorten anything, and trust me on that. So I'll go ahead and cut. So just follow me. I'll be cutting and I'll be closing some parts. So just follow me as I cut. Before I cut, I want to reshape my neckline here. I just want to take it to the chest line. So that's why pattern drafting is good. It helps you to correct any mistake or correct anything before transferring to your fabric. So I reconnected my neckline because I just feel that I don't want this, so I reconnected the neckline. So that's just the only thing I did. I'll go ahead and slash this open for me to close up here, and reconnect here, and then for me to also close up here. So just follow what I'm doing. So I'm taking this to the bust point, then I'm closing this part. So I've aligned that point. So you can just go ahead and cut it out. So I can go ahead and close up this dart. So by the time you close it up, you will align this point. Then you go ahead and continue with your cutting. So when you open it up, you see what you're going to have. So that is the essence of closing it up. So did you see? So if you do not close it up and cut it like this, you will have here shortened. So that's the essence. You also go ahead to reconnect this line. Did you see the line? You need to reconnect it like this. to have a straight line there, just to have a straight point before we continue with the cutting. So before you go ahead and continue cutting, I would like you to label. So this is the center front, and here is a side seam for the front 1, side seam for the front 2. So this is going to help you. Another thing is that you can come here and write 1, 1. So you know that these 2 points will be joined together. So you write 2 here, and you will also write 2 here. So you can do it in a way that you will understand. You must not take this method, but you can just label it in such a way that you understand it. So this is what we have for the front, right? So we'll go over to the back. In case you want a yoke, you can decide to not keep this part for your yoke. So I'll also label here. I'll go here 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So you label so you will not get confused. So you label the way you will understand. So I'll go ahead and cut. So this is what we have so far. So you can go ahead and match up here. This is the side seam for the front and the back, just to make sure it's aligning. As you can see, the side seam of the front and the back is aligning because I've closed up the front side seam, the bust dart, and these 2 points is now aligning. So that's the essence of that bust dart. So this is what I have so far. So you will level this so you will not get confused. You can see that these 2 parts are almost looking the same. So you can as well do arrow like this just to know the part that is up, so you will not miss it. So you will not go and turn it like this. Did you understand? So you make arrow to know the part that is front, because by the time you finish cutting these things, they look alike, and if you make mistake, you might not get your style perfectly. So this is what I have so far. So in the next video, we are going to be sewing this dress that you're seeing now on the screen. We are going to be making it in the next video. And please, I would like you to give this video a thumbs up. If you have gotten value in this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please help me and subscribe. So thank you guys for watching to this point. See you in the next class. Bye.